Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Minecraft podcast series. My name is Wizzy. You can also call me Wizzy. And today we're actually going to start off with a single player map thing very briefly because I was playing, I started a hardcore game, survival, whatever. And the map or the seed that I got, I feel is actually a really good seed. So I just wanted to share that with you guys really quick. And I will have the seed number for this world or whatever in the description below if you guys want to use that seed for your own games. And then, I didn't do very good on that. I ran into one too many creepers, but it is what it is. So then I started over with that same seed for a regular survival mode. But we're going to create a new world with this seed just to show you guys what it looks like really quick. And we're actually going to go, no, it is just the regular default. So we're going to do that. And we're just going to do creative just so I can show you guys. I'm not even going to worry about naming this world because I'm probably going to delete it like after I'm done recording. So. But yeah, anyway, so we'll create it. And you guys will get to see what this seed has to offer. And why I think I like, well, why I liked it so much to show you guys. I did do a little bit more digging around with the seed or whatever, just to see what else was good about it. And, I mean, it wasn't, well, a stronghold thing wasn't the best, I'll just say that. Although I shouldn't spoil it if you guys want to use it. But this is where you start. Surrounded by birch and oak trees. Zoom out, you can see you get a little bit of sand. Or quite a bit of sand, actually. Quite a bit of water. If we go over this way, just a little bit, you can see, well, there's a plains biome right over here. Go over this way a little bit more, and you'll notice there's a shipwreck right there. We go just a little bit further this way, and there is a whole bunch of sugarcane already. There's cows, there's sheep, there's wolves I know that spawn in this area. Plenty of chickens as well, so the starting mobs are great. There's caves here already that have a good amount of iron already, right in that spawn area. We go this way just a little bit further past this sunken ship. And as you can see, there's a village. And not only is there just a village right here, but if we go just a little bit past here, you can see there's a second village right close by. Now, one thing I did notice was most of the workers for these villages were leather workers. But I know there are other like job blocks. Like I know there's like librarians, I think, or librarian blocks for both of these. As you can see, there's a church here, so you can get an alchemist or whatever. Farmers. Not only that, but I noticed going through one of these farms here. They have wheat, of course, carrots, and I know they have potatoes. Yeah, potatoes as well. So honestly, just with the proximity of this village to your starting area, I feel like is pretty good. Don't have to go wandering. And then what's this over here? Another village? Unfortunately, this village here, as you can see upon closer inspection, is an abandoned village. But you do have these guys here, and if you can lock them in before sundown or whatever, before they burn up, you can get that achievement or whatever for curing them or whatever. But in this village here, though, there is an old like library here, so you got free books basically, and then a lectern, and then the church here. This actually still does. I don't know why I'm lacking so bad. But you do have a brewing stand right here as well for the taking, so you don't have to take the one in that village either. So I'd say overall, this is actually a pretty good starting area. Not only that, but down in here there is another house that doesn't have anything in it. But as you can see, there is a mine shaft in here. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I feel like this is actually a relatively good seed to start with, so I just wanted to showcase that. You get pigs over here as well. And, yeah. So I just, like I said, wanted to show this seed off really quick. Because I just thought it was crazy how I got this spawn. Then, not only that, there's pumpkins here. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, the seed to this world is in the description below if you guys want to check that out for your own survival or whatever, or survival map. But yeah. Anyways, we're going to go hop back onto the server. And actually, I'll delete this world really quick, because I don't really need it. So we'll do single player, new world, delete. Okay. Rule number 1, it's never my fault. That's correct. Anyways, community server. So, since the last video or episode I put out, I did do a little bit of work. Not in the subway system here. In fact, what we'll do is we'll get out of here. I do need to work on this some more. I've been kind of slacking on it. Oh, and I did find out that I can make custom colors for the text up here. So basically, I don't think... no, this was just all stuff I was messing with before. So if I go to boss bar, and we'll just add one really quick. Let's do ID 3 tests. We're gonna do boss bar set 3 visible true. Okay, it's already visible. We're gonna do players at A, which is just gonna be me. So you can see, get the new boss bar below. It's currently white. But if I do boss bar and then set and then go name, what I can do is do square brackets followed by squiggly brackets. Then inside the squiggly brackets we do 2 sets of quotes followed by a I think this is a semicolon, because I think that's a colon, followed by another pair of quotes, then a comma, quotes, semicolon, quotes, and then in the first set of quotes we're going to do text. Third set of quotes we're going to do color, and in the text we're going to do test. And in this one, there's only a limited number of colors you can do, so if I do orange, you're going to see it's still red, which means it won't accept it. But if we do like yellow, you can see it's going to work. But once again, orange doesn't work. So what you can do is you can do the pound symbol or hashtag or whatever you want to call it, number symbol. And then you can do the hex code. So you can do like FF 5800. And you can see now it's orange. And that was actually a good guess on making it like an orange. I mean, that's a little bit darker than the orange I currently have. But that's how you can get custom colors for the text. And not only that, but in order to do like the different words as different text, what you can do is you would do outside of the squiggly brackets, but within the square brackets you do comma, and then another set of squiggly brackets, then you do the whole quotes, colon, semicolon thing. You'll do text, color, and we'll go like maybe blue for that color. And then we'll do like a space, so we can have a space between the two words. And then we'll do like 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can see now we have two words, well, not really words, but on the same boss bar you get the name thing with two different colors. And so that's how I did this. Basically I would have 3 sets of squiggly brackets, one for this section here, one for the orange section, and then one for this final bit. Although unfortunately the boss bar color itself you can't color. So if we go to boss bar, set 3 color, you're only limited to this. And I think I've tried to do like, yeah, like that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Yeah, so you can see you can't really make it work with that, so it doesn't like it. So you're only set to these colors here for the boss bar itself. And then to make it actually full, you can do set max, I think, is set to like 20 or something like that. So we'll do 1, and then the value is going to be 1, so you can see it fills it up. But yeah, so boss bar remove 3. Yeah, so that's how I was able to do the color for the text for the boss bar. So we're gonna, like I said, go down the system, or the tunnel here, get back to this station up here. And I'm gonna show off what I did in between episodes. Because I've actually been, well, somewhat busy. Mostly playing Roblox lately, though. Of course it's raining. Weather set, or weather clear. We'll just do that. I'm going to clear the chat so we're not seeing all that every time. I'll load that up. Anyways, we're going to go over to the teleport center because it is actually over in Mangrove, which is the other state, because this state that we're currently in is Sungate. We're going to go over to Mystic City here, which is the main city in Mangrove. And of course I showed off, I think, a little bit of work here. But once this loads in, you'll see we got this nice looking bridge. And this is what I did in between episodes. So the bridge I had here before, I actually built when basically this whole section was starting to be developed. This was the first city basically developed for Mangrove on this side of the server. So I had like a bridge that was kind of like these. Very simple. They weren't this tall. I think it was more like this height, maybe a little bit lower. But I didn't have any of these pillars, so it was basically just this part here the entire time, or the entire distance. So it was just essentially just floating. So I'm like, you know what? I think it's time to build a new bridge. So what I did, in fact, if I bring up some pictures here, I think it's the program files. Gotta find where my Minecraft There it is. Screenshots, okay. Okay, yeah, it was actually a little bit different. So if we go over to the main display here for a second, or the full display, this is what the bridge looked like. It was a bit bulky. I already got rid of some of the signs and everything, banners from this bridge at this point. But this is basically what it looked like. And as you can see here, I built a temporary bridge. Connecting the two areas, and if we zoom in here, you can see I kind of made like a little blockade blocking you from getting to this bridge. I mean, you could easily walk around it. I had signs saying road closed or whatever, bridge closed, and I had detour signs. So you can see I had all the signs over on this bridge, the temporary bridge. And at this point, you could see I already took off the lights or whatever, the street lights that I had here before. So here's it without the bridge, with just the temporary bridge. And then these are basically the progress pictures that I did, or screenshots. But I think I'm actually quite pleased with how it turned out. Putting those, because what I'd used for these are chains, and I can show that here in a moment. But it was a pain in the butt to put the chains on. As you can see here, it's getting more final. And then at this point, I was done with it, so I was taking the temporary bridge out. And here's the bridge without the temporary. And then, yeah. So now, if we go back to the Minecraft. And one thing, too, that's different about this bridge is, well, one, I've got dates for it now. And two, this is the first named bridge. So it was named the Governor Mystical Spiral Bridge, which is one of my friends. He's the one that basically developed Mystic City. I mean, Mystic, that's how it got its name. So yeah, and one thing I did too is the old bridge was only, well, basically the total width was just 4, but you had basically fences like this, and so basically this is how wide the bridge was. So this is actually, this bridge, or new bridge, is 2 wider than the old one, and you can see I have chains here. Like I said, putting chains down is just such a pain. So what's this sign here? UT3. Oh, that was UT. What's UT? It's for one of the towns, but I don't know what. I'm not sure, but I don't need that sign anyways. But yeah, if I like do this, you can see. Like trying to, I mean, I'm actually doing it fairly well right there, but sometimes you'll do that and it's like, no, that's not what I want to do. But yeah, it wasn't easy. And you could see the big welcome sign that I don't have here. It's just, I was gonna have it hanging below, but I'm like, it doesn't look very good, so I just decided to stick with these wooden signs, which I had anyways. And made them so they're a bit more rotated. Yeah. So this is the new bridge. That was the big project I did between episodes. And another project I kind of did, it wasn't the biggest project, well, part of it was the floating island here, which I actually had called, it wasn't actually officially called Floating Island before. It was Sky Island. That's what it was called. So before I had a teleport button right here along this main road to just teleport up to it. But I decided to get rid of that. I want to have less reliance on teleporting to areas. And more reliance on the other types of ways of getting around, like walking or using the subway system, especially the subway system, since I've worked so much on that. So as you can see up here, I have this bridge going up to the base of this corner of the floating island. And I have these two water elevators going up. And so what I did was I had basically made them identical. I know it looks a bit funky, but it is what it is. So these are basically like what I'd have in like the towers or whatever, just regular water elevators. But we'll go up. Maybe I'll go up a little bit slower. That way there's not as much flashing, I guess, going on. And you can see as we get up into the ground of the island, I obviously couldn't put any more glass panes. So what I did was I put the lamps here, redstone lamps. And it's actually controlled by this one, or for both of these, it's controlled by this one lever. And actually, not just this lever, but the power plants I created, which I don't know if I ever showed those or not. So I'll have to show those here in a moment. But basically, if the main power plant power goes out, then these are going to go out. Either the main power or the power to floating island, because I have levers basically for each individual town, or district if you want to call it that, or whatever. So if either of those go out or whatever, flipped off, then these are going to go off. Or if I flip this, you can see they go off. And basically I changed the streetlights here to fit like how I made the streetlights in Towering Heights. And I have new... So if I go to functions, or function, you can see I now have two more functions on the list here. Now we've got streetlights for Mangrove and streetlights for Sungate. And basically, so what I'll do is, I think the first one I have under here, yep. So if we take this, let me open a notepad. Go back to the main display here. So if I do this, you can see this is what the function looks like. So we have the starting X, starting Y, start Z, end X, end Y, end Z. And then the power plant town lever in here. And so basically, the start X would be like this redstone lamp here. Or start X, start Y, start Z. And then the end coordinates would be for this lamp. So it's basically every lamp in between those two coordinates. And the function I have for that, basically, so let me do this for a second. Documents. So data pack. Okay. So here we can see this is the function basically that it's calling, and you can see right up here start X, start Y, start Z, end power plant coordinates. Those are all the basically what this is referencing to. So as you can see, there's two functions or commands that are being run on this. The first one is basically to turn on the redstone lamps, and the other one is to turn them off. And so you can see the difference here. And then this part here for if this block, this is the main power lever for the power plant. So because every single street light, whatever, and Sungate is going to be referencing that one lever every single time, there's no sense in having to reference it up here. So that's why I made two different functions, because there's two different power plants, one for Sungate, one for Mangrove. And each one has its own main power levers. So right up here you can see this is the Mangrove one, and the coordinates are different. But all the other basically references or coordinates are going to be referenced up here. You can see here's where the redstone lamps go, true, false, whatever. If all of these prerequisites, or if you want to call them, are true. And so you can see I have them based on a timer as well. So if we go back into Minecraft here, and for that timer, I'm actually using a scoreboard function. So if I do scoreboard, well, not a function, but objectives, we're going to do set display. We're going to do the sidebar, so it shows up over here. Sidebar, and then we're going to do time. So you can see right now this is the current time. And then the lights will be coming on when the time hits this time, and they'll turn off when it hits this time. So if I do time set, we'll go 1, 2, so 12,000. So here in about 200 ticks, these lights are going to turn on as soon as it becomes 12,250. So here in 100 ticks, you'll notice that they'll come on. 50. And there they go. And so basically, you can see they're all on. And so obviously, that means when the timer reaches, or the time reaches just about 24,000, which after this, it becomes 0. So that's why I don't have it at 24,000. I have it at, or 0, I have it at that instead. So we're going to do 23,900 or even 950. So here in just a moment, these are all going to turn off. And there they go. And as you can see, time had hit that. They've gone back down to 0, so it's starting over. Then once it gets back up to that number, they'll turn back on. And so on and so forth. And of course I have a command block to constantly update this time score. So we're going to do set display sidebar, and that will remove that. Okay, so that's another thing I did. One thing I don't know if I showcased or not, actually I did, was the removal of the old spleef arena that I had over here. Because I remember I mentioned about the signs there. Or the banners, rather. So, right now, because of all the command blocks, and I know I've mentioned this before, with all the command blocks, the server is running a little bit behind constantly. So I'm trying to make it use more functions to help reduce the lag on the server. And one thing I'm doing as well is with the new street lights and everything, and with the new power plant basically, I'm eventually gonna remove every single one of these. These are basically street poles, or yeah, telephone poles or utility poles, whatever. And this is like the utility line or power line for these for the street lights. So I have it basically inverted. So if I was to churn or power like the street lights here and it gets dark, basically it's not going to allow it to turn on the lights at all. Whereas in its current state, this will basically, or this is being powered from the solar panel, or not solar panel, but the light sensor here. And once the power reaches 0, these torches turn on, because right now they're powered, so they're turned off. So basically, if I was to power this, that means this is going to get constant power. And if this is 0, I mean, obviously, because this is already being powered, then this is never going to turn on, because this is never going to diminish. Well, this is powered anyways. But if I unpower it, then it's just based on this daylight sensor. And that's how that works. If you guys ever wondered how I had this all set up. Another reason why I'm replacing these streetlights as well is, well, one, they're bulky, they're huge, kind of ugly looking almost. So, and not only that, but with all this redstone and everything, and the daylight sensors, that also contributes to a little bit of lag on the server, because all of these torches are going to get updated, all these redstone wires are going to get updated, the daylight sensors are going to get updated. So I'm eventually going to slowly over time remove all of the utility lines and all of the street lights, and I'm going to have it based on using the function that I showed on the islands there, or the floating island, Sky Island. Now not Mystic City, Towering Heights here, because I did these streetlights before I put the new power plants in, these aren't using the functions right now. These are basically, if I go under the street here, okay, up here. So this is how the lights are being basically turned on and off. Oops. So here's the timer check. And basically you have the redstone wire here, which is connected to the old little tiny power plant that I had, which this was what I was using for all of the street lights up above. So I'm basically checking if this has no power right here, which it currently doesn't. And if the time is between the off and or the on and off time, then basically this will get powered, and then this block will set all of the street lights to, at least on this street, to turn on. And if this gets powered, or the time is outside of that, or basically on each end of the on-off spectrum, then this one gets powered, turning off the street lamps. Let me fill in this hole over here. So yeah, that's how that all works. Eventually, like I said, I will update all of these as well with the function. So those, and that will eliminate 3, or at least 2 of the command blocks, because there's 3 of them for each road right now. And I only need 1 with a function to do that. So if I go out this way, this is heading towards Swamp City. And so basically, because of the thickness here of this bridge, and that's why the bridge that I replaced was so thick as well, was because I had all of the wires or wiring rather, for the streetlights out this way. Instead of having utility poles up here, I just have it all on the ground. And then I use command blocks to basically turn on and off these levers, which basically acts like the incoming power from the power line. If we go this way, here's Swamp City. And I figured this area was the perfect area to build a power plant. I might have showcased this before, but this is what the power plant looks like. The one in Mongrove is identical to this. I just copied it over. And if we go in here... Oh. So you can see we have the main power here, and then the power to all of the towns within Sungate. And then the same for Mystic City. So, and basically, like I said, the function is referring to this lever here, which is the one at the beginning that I not specifying, but for the other, the lever power, it was the power plant coordinate that I had on the, for the function, as referring to one of these levers for each of the towns. So that's how that's all working. Of course I have a date for this. I didn't do the fancy date like I've been doing with the text display. That's how I do all the dates and everything. And the name for the bridge there. Oh yeah, so this was a project I was doing at one point in time, which I've abandoned quite some time ago. Basically, I was using, well, this website to make this sphere using these parameters. And this was going to be like a Hunger Games arena sort of thing. But I never got around to finishing it. Maybe one day. And that's why that bridge over here, if you had noticed as I was flying by, there was a little bit of a spur going off to the left on the bridge here. I forget it's so far away. Oh no, it's not wicked far, but here's the bridge. So if it was like right up here, I think. Yeah, right here. You can see there's this little spur right here. That doesn't go anywhere. So this was actually going to head towards the arena there. But I never, like I said, finished it, so that's why. So I think what we're going to do here now is go back into the subway system here. And I think I'm going to continue to work on the signal upgrades. Because there's really not much else I can work on at the moment. I actually know I could work on, which might be more exciting, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Is start working on some of these other towns. I can do the signal upgrades offline. It's just so tedious to do. Is I'm gonna do these paths or whatever to the other towns at a later date. Actually, what I should have done was that when I was at, actually no, I have a separate spreadsheet telling me the coordinates for all the levers. Never mind, I don't need to do that. So, actually, we're gonna go into Seaport here because this is a tiny little town, and we're gonna replace the street lights here. So I'm gonna go back to Documents, Minecraft stuff, Power Plant lever positions. Okay. And this spreadsheet actually gives me the coordinates for all of the, not just Sungate, but also Mangrove, which is good. So what we're gonna do, let's get rid of some of this stuff in my inventory. I don't need all of this. Do I have these in here? Let me see. I do not. So let's put some of this in here. I'll keep that out. Don't really need that out. Purple wool I don't need. That I don't need. These I don't need. Quartz I don't really need. I can probably just get rid of those. Grass block I don't need. Those I'll need. This, yeah, actually I will need that. Those I'm going to keep because I like having the regular stone bricks in my inventory if I need them for any reason. Yeah, I think that's it. So I can get rid of that because when I do that, it drops it. And then these I can just destroy. Okay, so I actually want to go underground here for a second. So we're going to get rid of these command blocks. Actually, we'll need the dirt. I can fill in these sections. So we're going to get rid of all of these command blocks. Because I didn't actually have the wires directly connected to the street lights up above. And basically these signs reference the street lights that are up above. So as you can see, this says SML, Seaport, and then I think, yeah, the ML is the name of the road. So this is the main loop, so you can see this building is 53 main loop. And then this sign is SR2, which actually should be R1 now because this is Route 1. One point it was Route 2, but it's no longer Route 2. But we'll leave it like that for now. I'm not going to worry about that. So yeah, we're going to get rid of these redstone dust because I don't need these here anymore either. I'm just going to fill all of this in as well. So I know this is kind of a podcast series. I'm not really doing much for podcasting at the moment. I'm just kind of explaining what I'm doing as like a regular Minecraft video almost. But yeah, things haven't been the best lately. But they're getting better. Classes are almost done. I think I mentioned that in Thursday's Roblox video. So once I get rid of all of these command blocks, then I will go up and remove the street lights. Because if I actually hadn't removed the street lights, then levers are going to continue to appear. And I don't really need levers to appear. One thing that's nice about how I did this town as well, with all the blocks for the town underneath, is it's only within the town that I have these blocks. So I won't accidentally remove blocks needed for streetlights outside of the town. So that's the main loop. So this doesn't connect to anything anywhere else, so we can remove this. Oops, actually I'll leave that down for now. This isn't going to be connecting to anything else. In fact, that's where I filled in from before. Okay, so that's all of the street lights for Seaport here. Actually, what is this connecting to? So that is connected to this street light. Yeah, so I'm going to need to leave that as is, so for now anyways. So I can't remove these redstone wires and fill this section in. But this area I can fill in. And this part I can fill in. Okay, and the rest of this I'm going to have to leave as is, like I said. Okay, I think I replaced all of the stone blocks that I removed. So now, what I can do is I can remove these. Unpower them and everything as well. I know I didn't need to fill that block back in, but at least not right now. Well, I didn't at all actually, but I don't know. I like leaving it as is, until I want to remove it, if that makes any sense. I had a notice saying that my NVIDIA graphics driver was ready to update. It's like, yeah, that's good. Don't really need to worry about that right now. I'm busy. So this actually kind of shows like what I was explaining about earlier with the how these streetlights work. And in fact, once it gets bright enough, one of these will go up, but the other will stay on because this is gradually increasing. And of course, as you extend a redstone signal out, it goes down by 1 for each block. Oh, that was stupid. Whatever. You know what would be an interesting feature? Is if you break a redstone source or whatever, while it's lit, you kind of get a little bit of a zap or whatever, so you kind of lose like maybe half a heart or something like that. I feel like that'd be kind of interesting. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll just remove... I like doing things all at once and... well, not all at once, but... a certain thing for everything at once, I guess. Like, right now I'm just breaking the redstone lamps now. I feel like they could almost rename it to like redstone bulb. I know you get the copper bulbs now are coming out, which is basically the same thing. Or are they called copper lamps? I don't think they're called copper lamps. Don't need these. Don't need the dirt anymore. Actually. I feel like I could almost turn this into like an ASMR series. So I start whispering. Although the clicking's kind of loud. But I feel like just the sounds of the Minecraft blocks being placed or broken is kind of almost ASMR-ish. Okay, so now Now I did go through a different variation, or many different variations of a street light, or new street light basically, before I came up with this design. I even tried doing it just like that, but I feel like having it like that looks almost better. Just wondering if I should reposition any of these. No, I think they're fine. I mean, yeah, some of them... That's the problem, is some of these houses are so close to the road, they have to have them like this. Like, even if I move this over here, well, it'll be in the way of the door. So, yeah. Whatever. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to include this one over here. So those three will be grouped together. These three will be grouped together. These two, and then the main road here. Okay, so we'll do this one first. So 1 and 2, so we'll put it under 1. Okay, so what I want for... Actually, yeah, I do want it this way, okay. So... Bear with me one moment. Okay. I'm just making things a little bit easier for myself for the coordinates of everything. So paraplant coordinates are going to stay the same throughout this town. This is seaport, so it'd be negative 600. 64. You guys can't see what I'm doing, but that's fine. Negative 953. In fact, let me move this over to this monitor. So starting coordinate is going to be negative 344, 67, 492. And the end is simply just this one. Negative 344, 68, and 482. And of course the Y's are going to be the same throughout this town because there's no elevation change in this town. So that will make things a little bit easier. So all I'll have to do is basically change the start X and Z and the end X and Z, and that's it. Everything else is already ready for this town. So we're going to take this, and copied it, go into here, and there we go. And it's nighttime too, so we can see it work. So we're going to make this, or put it here for these ones. So we've got 346, 471. 330, 471. And just like that, that's it for those. Of course, this makes it nice and easy. So actually, because that one's on the main route, I'm not going to include that one with these, so it'll just be these two. By the time I finish all these, the lights are going to be going out. So 324, 476. 324, and it's negative, obviously. 324 and positive 486. And that's it for those. Yeah, I think they're going to go off here in a moment, so the main road we're not going to see. So I think it starts low down this end, right? No, it starts low at this end, okay. Just kind of makes it easier to know where it is if you just go to the low end of the street lights. So... 361, 496. 304, 496. Yeah, they've gone off now, so that means once I do this one, these ones won't turn on. At least not right now. Next time it gets dark, it will. So that's this town done. That actually wasn't too bad. I mean, this is a small town as well, so I mean, yeah. But anyways, I think with that being done, we're at 1 hour and 2 minutes already. Time just flies by when you're having fun, doesn't it? But anyways, that is just about going to do it for this video, though. So, actually, here we go. So, I think what I'm going to do is next... I'm not going to do... What am I doing? Let's go back to F. There we go. So, I think what I'm going to do is, for the next video, I am going to... I could probably make a way to connect that one up. I can get rid of the underground part, but that's fine. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to do another video in 2 weeks. Like I said, this series I'm going to do bi-weekly. No reason really to do it every single week. I just never know what to do. If I was doing like a bigger project, maybe I'd do it every week. As of right now, I mean, yeah, I kind of have a big project, and that's the subway thing, but like I said, I feel like that's not wicked exciting to watch. I mean, this might be not wicked exciting either, but at least it's a little more interesting than going through a subway tunnel doing signal work, basically. But yeah, anyways. So I think next time what we'll do is we'll maybe continue working on doing these. We'll do a couple more towns, and then I want to do some of the towers at some point too, use functions for those, but we'll get that to a later date. But anyways, the next video will be going up will be the Roblox Stepford County Railway video. So once again, hopefully you've all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a thumbs up, and of course, as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye.